believe in him before I give you permission? He must be your chief who has taught you magic. Be sure I will cut off your hands and feet on opposite sides. I will have you crucified on trunks of palm trees, so you shall know for certain which of us can give the more severe and lasting punishment."
While every surah attests to the fact the Quran wasn't divinely inspired, some passages are more revealing than others. This one is a real prize. Crucifixion was invented by the Assyrians, but not until 500 B.C. Moses returned to Pharaoh in 1200 B.C., which makes this Quranic conversation impossible, something wholly inconsistent with a book claiming to be perfect. But the Islamic God did more than crucify himself on the tree of ignorance. A moral God cannot compete for the prize of
most severe punisher.
In Allah's final Quranic address, he spoke these chilling words.
Quran 5, verse 33, "The punishment for those who wage war against Allah and His Apostle and perpetrate disorders in the land is to crucify them or have a hand on one side and a foot on the other cut off."
The most important aspect of the liberation of the Jews from Egyptian bondage, Passover, was missed by Muhammad and his prop Allah. Since Islamic forgiveness was arbitrary and capricious, not as a result of sacrifice, they didn't comprehend the significance of the blood of the Lamb. As a prophet and God, they should have known that it was symbolic of Christ's mission. Lamb's blood was smeared on a horizontal beam, a beam that became the threshold to salvation. Yes, there was a cross in the story of Moses, but you had to be more godly than Muhammad to see it. 20 verses later, Allah forgets his name, and Aaron thinks he's Muhammad.
Quran 20, verse 90. Aaron had indeed told them earlier, "O my people, you are being misled with this. Surely your Lord is Ar-Rahman, so follow me and obey my command."
Jump ahead a few verses and the deities are still at it, plagiarizing the Bible and making fools of themselves.
Quran 20:96. Samari replied, "I saw what they saw not, so I took a handful of dust from the footprints of the messenger and threw it. Thus did my gut suggest to me." Moses said, "Get done. Your punishment in this life will not be such as you say. Touch me not. Moreover, you have a curse on you that you cannot escape. Now look at your Ilah, of whom you have become devoted. We will burn it and scatter it in the sea. But your Ilah is Allah. There is no Ilah but He. Thus do we relate to you some stories of what happened before from our own remembrance."
Ever in character, Ar-Rahman or Allah is or are about to melt down in the midst of an identity crisis.
Quran 20, verse 100. "Whoever turns aside from it, he shall bear a burden on the day of doom. They will abide in that. Grievous evil will be the load on them. We shall gather the mushrimim, disbeliever, blue or blind-eyed with thirst. My Lord will blast them and scatter them as dust." Verse 108. "Their voices will be hushed before Ar-Rahman. You will not hear a sound but faint shuffling. That day no intercession will matter other than his whom Ar-Rahman grants permission." Verse 113. "Thus we have sent the Quran down as a lecture in Arabic and explained the intimidations and different threats that they might fear Allah."
It's another Islamic first. God in the role of bully, the great intimidator. And thus his Quran is not a discussion between God and man. It is a lecture.
Quran 21:14. "High above all is Allah, the King,"
which made Muhammad king, since he was the only semblance of Allah's existence.
Do not try to anticipate the Quran before its revelation comes to you, Muhammad.
That's almost funny. It's obvious he was making this up as he went along. Because he was unable to heed the following words, he had to author Scripture to excuse his immoral and covetous behavior.
Quran 20, verse 131. "Do not covet what we have granted to other people, nor strain your eye in longing for the things we have given for their enjoyment, the splendor of the life through which we tempt them. But the provision of your Lord is better and more enduring."
Islam's dark spirit was about to make thievery legal, and thereby fulfilled his promise to enrich his profiteer. Scripture would soon serve to satiate Mohammed's sexual cravings as well. Before we throw up or die laughing, let's leave the surah with this disclaimer from Mohammed's spirit friend.
Quran 20, verse 133. They say, why does he not bring us a sign or miracle from his Lord? Has not a clear sign come to them in the former scripture books of Revelation?
The devil just said, if you want a real God and miracles, you need to read Yahweh's scriptures, the Bible. It took us a while, but we found a nugget of truth in the Quran. The 21st surah, named
The Prophets,
was revealed during Muhammad's waning days in Mecca. In earlier chapters we covered the heart of this surah. On this pass we'll just pick up some of the remaining highlights. It opens immersed in the never-ending feud.
Quran 21, verse 2. Never comes to them a renewed reminder from their Lord, but they listen to it in jest, playing in sport, their hearts toying with trifles. The wrongdoers conceal their private counsels, conferring in secret, he is just a man like yourselves, a mortal. Will you succumb to his witchcraft with your eyes open? Say, my Lord is the one that hears and knows. Nay, they say, these are merely medleys of muddled dreams. He forged it. He is just a poet. Let him then bring us a miracle like the ones that were sent to the prophets of old.
This is the complete package. Muhammad's contemporaries ridiculed his Quranic revelations. They called him a counterfeiter, a witch, a muddled dreamer, and a mere poet. They said that he lacked any proof for his far-fetched claims of divine selection and inspiration. And clearly they knew him much better than we do today.
Quran 21, verse 6. Not one of the populations which we destroyed believed. Will these believe? And we sent not before you but men, whom we revealed. Ask the keepers of the reminder, the Scriptures, Torah, and Gospel, if you do not know. Nor did we give them bodies that ate not food, nor were they immortals. Then we fulfilled to them the promise. So we saved them, and whom we pleased, and we destroyed the disbelievers.
The Islamic God just asked Muslims to check with the Jews if they were looking for answers. Using a moron to argue with a village of illiterates, the ignorant deity said,
Quran 21, verse 10. Verily we have sent down for you a book in which is your reminder. Have you then no sense?
Returning to his favorite theme.
How many towns have we utterly destroyed because of their wrongs, exchanging them for other people? When they felt our torment, behold, they began to fly. Fly not, but return to that which emasculated you, so that you might be interrogated. They cried, Woe to us! Their crying did not cease, till we mowed them down as ashes, silent and quenched.
The Islamic God, also known as Satan, is bragging about how many civilizations he destroyed, demonstrating the godless mindset of a concentration camp warden. He said that he emasculated men, interrogating them, making them cry. Then he mowed them down, turning their bodies into ashes. It's little wonder Hitler based Mein Kampf on Islam. The next passage takes us from demented to delusional.
Quran 21, verse 16. Not for sport did we create the heavens, earth, and all that is in between. It wasn't a plaything. If it had been our wish to take a pastime, to make a diversion or a hobby, like a wife or a son, we surely could have made it ourselves, in our presence, if we would do.
While this is weird, the last line is revealing Yahweh is infinite, Allah is not. The heavens and earth are outside His presence.
Quran 21:18. Nay, we fling the true against the false, and it knocks out its brains.
In a way, it's true. Hurl enough of this stuff at someone, and they'll lose their mind.
Behold, it is vanquished. Ah, woe be to you for that thing you ascribe. To him belong all creatures in the heavens and earth. Those who are near him are not too proud to serve, nor are they weary.
Moving ahead, we return to the